Hello everyone, JavaMentor.net here. In today's video, let's learn about keyword instanceof. And we really need that keyword. We already did something like this in previous tutorials. So you remember that student extends person, pensioner also extends person. And this is possible assigning object of type pensioner into the variable which is declared of type person. You remember we went through the debugger and we can show it again that if you stop at this line, concretely this student is of type student. So this object is of type student. It's not of type person, but while we are coding, we can only access person methods and person fields. We cannot access while coding student ID. For example, if you go student.student ID, that's not possible, even though you know that this student has field student ID. Now we all know that from the previous tutorials. Now I wanted to create one method that will buy a person appropriate gift. For the students, that's a book about philosophy, and for the pensioners, a book and a chess set and a book written by former world champion Garry Kasparov, one of the best players and probably the most known players that ever lived. And here we want, for sure, if we want to do something in one case and something in another case, we need if-else statement or something like that. So if person is of type student, how to ask that question? Is person of type student? Well, that's where our instanceof keyword can help us. And we can say if person is instanceof of student. In that case, buy him a book about philosophy. Another if statement. If person instanceof pensioner, then buy him a chess set and a book written by Garry Kasparov. Awesome. So if we run our program, we will first see this, because first call of a function is with student, and then we will see this buy him a chess set, because second invocation of the method is with pensioner object. Now also interesting thing is that our class person is not an abstract class, which means that we can say person equals new person, right? And this person is not either a student or a pensioner, it's just a person. What will happen if we try to call our method with this person? Let's give it a try. So we only see those console print lines for a student and for a pensioner, and it makes sense. It comes here with this person and it says it is person instance of student. Well, obviously it's not, it's a person. Then skip this part, don't enter this line. The same is going on here. Person is instance of a pensioner. This person is not instance of a pensioner, so skip this line. And there is nothing here, so that's why nothing is printed for a person. But okay, let's say that a person object needs a nice suit, right? So let's go and ask if person instance of a person, then buy a nice suit. Awesome. And if we try to run our program, whoa, we have buy a nice suit 3 times. So for every invocation of this method, regardless if it was a person, student, or a pensioner, we have our buy a nice suit. And for a student, we have a book about philosophy, additional. And also for a pensioner, we have a chess set, which means that this condition was satisfied all 3 times. And that really makes sense. Do you remember when we talked about inheritance and we said that student is a person, and that is the reason why student extends a person. Student is a person, and vice versa is not true. Not every person is a student. LeBron James is not a student. Nikola Tesla is not a student. So, student is a person, vice versa is not true. Let's go into the debugger here and let's try to figure out what's happening. Okay, so first invocation of our buy gift for a person method is coming from here, and this object in reality is a person, as you can see here. So we are asking here, is person a student? That's not true. That's why we didn't enter here. Is person, and you can also see here what is the real data type of that person variable. Is person a pensioner? That's not true. We skip this one. Is person person? Well, that must be true. That's why we have buy a nice suit. Awesome. Now here we are going into our method, but this time our argument person is holding a student object. So we are asking, is student a student? Yes. Okay. We printed this. Is student a pensioner? That's not true. Is student a person? Is every student a person? It is. Well, what was the answer when we talked about inheritance? Is student a person? It is. And the same answer is here. This student, it is instance of person, and that is why this line will be printed. Also, if we come with the pensioner here, okay, we will skip this one, we will go through the pensioner. Is pensioner a person? It is, and that is why we will execute this line of code. So I hope that this instance of is clear, because now I want to introduce one problem that we will resolve in the next video. I will try with this. If person is object. And this object, this is some class inside Java lang package. So the most core package of Java. This is true as well. I will try to run our program. Whoa, we see for person, for student, and for a pensioner that every time this was true as well. And for the explanation of this, we will need to go to the next tutorial, where we will talk more about this object class. Stay with us and see you in the next video.